In the winter of 1942, on the shores of a lake in the Himalayas, a British forest guard came across hundreds of bones and skulls, some with the flesh still on them, a sight that literally gave chills down the spine. The ice melting that summer revealed even more skeletal remains floating in the water and scattered around the lake's edges. It was the height of World War II. There were fears that the skeletons belonged to Japanese soldiers or Tibetan traders on the Silk Road who died of exposure while trying to pass through India. Fearing a Japanese land invasion, the British government dispatched a team of investigators to determine whether this was true. They discovered that the bones were not from Japanese soldiers, but rather from a much older period, much older, some even around 1,000 years old. But what happened to them? Who were they? How did a group of men and women and children with different ethnic backgrounds end up here, in this lake, high up in the Himalayas? Stick around while we unravel the secrets of this fascinating site, the list of freaky explanations, and the bizarre origins of the dead. In the meantime, please don't hesitate to hit the like and subscribe button. It would really help our channel grow and would encourage us to post more fascinating stories. Roopkund is a glacier lake 5,029 meters or 16,500 feet above sea level, which attracts thousands of pilgrims and adventurers alike and is covered in snow for most of the year. For 6 decades, nobody could solve the mystery of the skeleton lake. Many hypotheses have been proposed: epidemic, war, landslide, and even a ritual suicide, but none could fully explain the evidence they uncovered. For one, every skeleton had an injury consistent with blunt force trauma, and the round-shaped fractures on their skull led researchers to conclude that these individuals likely perished in a severe weather phenomenon. The journey could have likely progressed until everyone was trapped. With nowhere to run and hide, disaster struck, and a violent torrent of hailstones fell from the skies and battered the entire group. But this is just a theory. There is no conclusive evidence that a hailstorm that severe could occur or has ever occurred in that region. Besides, no hailstorm is that heavy to be that impactful for a healthy human skull to break. Some people believe that the skeletons belong to a group of gypsies who came to the valley looking for magic mushrooms and caterpillar fungi, which have incredible medicinal properties. A popular local folklore song tells about a disrespectful group of pilgrims traveling to a nearby Hindu shrine of a powerful mountain goddess, Nanda Devi. Incensed by their behavior, the goddess is said to have hurled balls as hard as iron at the deviants. No rock or other hard objects with stains were found, but bits and pieces of religious jewelry and clothing were. The skeletons were a mix of men, women, and children in good health, meaning warfare and epidemic were highly unlikely. Besides, they didn't find any weapons, as well ruling out the possibility of an army or a battle. Thus, the researchers, after 60 years, concluded that they were most likely pilgrims of South Asian origin that died in the 9th century. However, recent DNA analysis has shed more light on this enigma, revealing that the individuals belong to 3 distinct genetic groups: local Indian, Southeast Asian, and most shockingly, Eastern Mediterranean. The remains of the other populations are much harder to explain. The study concludes that the Mediterranean individuals, who do not seem to have close family ties to each other, were probably born under Ottoman rule, as suggested by their consumption of a predominantly terrestrial rather than marine-based diet. They may have lived in an inland location, eventually traveling to and dying in the Himalayas. Whether they were participating in a pilgrimage or were drawn to Roopkund Lake for other reasons is a mystery. Niraj Rai, head of the Ancient DNA Lab at the Institute of Paleosciences in India. Another possibility could be explained by the existence of a Greco-Indian kingdom in the area that thrived in the 1st and 2nd centuries BC. However, carbon dating concluded that none of the bones were from that period. Those from South Asian ancestry dated from a variety of different events from the 7th to the 9th century, and those from the Mediterranean origins date from one even in the 18th century. The differences in these dates also suggest that the causes of these deaths may be varied. It would actually explain if the lake was a makeshift graveyard, which would explain the diversity of the bones. Despite these findings, several questions remain unanswered. What brought these people from different corners of the world to Roopkund Lake? Was it a pilgrimage, a trade route, or something else entirely? What did groups of people across different timelines specifically travel here, only to meet their end? There is no conclusive evidence as to how these skeletons came to be. Every year, with the arrival of spring and summer, the frozen lake would thaw to reveal the bones, but not the origin. The Roopkund Lake skeletons remain one of the most intriguing mysteries of our time. As science continues to unravel the secrets of these ancient bones, we can only imagine what new discoveries await. If you enjoyed this chilling tale from the depths of the Himalayas, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more mysteries that will keep you on the edge of your seat. And remember, the world is full of enigmas waiting to be solved. Until next time, stay curious.